Hey, what's up, guys? I got a brand new Red Eyes Red Eyes Dragon Link Bysteals deck profile for you today. The Bysteals are really interesting. They're level sixes predominantly. The main one is level eight, but the little guys, the level sixes, are actually like kind of better to combo with. The level eight, he just helps you set up like interruptions, another extender. But like the level sixes, they help you go into the Hieratic King Atum, which summons from the any dragon from the deck. It's like getting it's like we got LP back in a way. It's really cool. Um, and they summon themselves for basically for free. You banish a light or a dark from the grave, from either player's grave. It's really cool stuff. So getting right into it, we are playing two of our Red Eyes Black Dragons. Pretty standard, you know. It's like as we normally do. I wanted to cut it to one, but Malefic Red Eyes is just such a weird guy that he has to banish from the deck. Hopefully we get that new Red Eyes soon that just can send from hand or deck to the grave, which helps infinitely more. But Malefic Red Eyes with the Bystials kind of works a little cool because if you have the continuous spell, you can every time a Light or Dark is banished, once per turn, you can draw a card. So you can trigger that if you draw into it, which is pretty cool. And Malefic Red Eyes just have a little bit more stock because he can help out with the boss monster. So we play three Black Metal Dragons. Our tried and true combo starter. Always like he's like the best normal summon. We have a couple other normal summons, but all of them are special summoned through other means. You definitely want to see him more than everything else. He gets a lot of things rolling, and just you can do like a little combo, and then use the bestial stuff later after your graveyard's full. Really cool. We cut the darkness metal down to one because we're playing some cards that can like bring them back from like the banish zone back into the deck, back to our hand, so we can loop them out a little bit more. I'll send them for you guys, so we can loop them out a little bit more, and yeah, so we don't need the second one as much, so one's fine for now, and you know, hard ones per turn. That always hurts the heart. We play one Malefic Red Eyes. The combo works a little differently now. It really depends on what your hand is. Like there really is no like set combo. It's really hard to say because the Bystials, you know, their line of play changes a lot depending on what's in your graveyard, what's in your opponent's graveyard. If you went first or second, this deck wants to go first, but it can go second very well because the Bystials summon themselves. Quick effect, banish a light or dark from your opponent's grave as well if they control a monster. So like Malefic has like some weird spots in the deck. He 100% still fits. He can be an extender. He can be tribute for the level 8 Bystial. He's still got his like worth. And we still play the Flare Metal, of course. Next we have two Rocket Tracers. We used to play three, but playing two is we had to make room for the Bystials, and playing two just worked out a lot better. It didn't really make that much of a difference. Like whether you see him or not, it doesn't matter. If you see him, then like it's fine because like the field spell summons up to two. So if you see one, you just search for something else, get a different name, or you can change your line of play. It doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter. It like he's the only one you can play like less of. And we play one Silver Rocket and one Rocket Synchron. These are our other names for rockets, because we do like Delindrus and Quad Boral, the other link to like loops to get to our Boral End Dragon, and so we have like this guy and this guy. We also play our like quick draws, of course, but you don't need to depend on it as much. You have Rocket Tracer to bring one out, and you really only need one. But if you have the other one in line of play, then you can do some interesting stuff with like Rocket Synchron to bring back any level 7 or any of our level 7 like Red Eyes, or you know, yeah, Red Eyes really, and then like go right into like our Borload Savage Dragon, or you can have like link plays, whatever. You just make some interesting stuff. A lot of people play Rocket Recharge or whatever his name is, but I personally like Silver Rocket because the being targeted by a link monster and then like banishing a extra deck monster they have from their extra deck is just really good. Like sprites only play like one toad, and like if they try to do their best to try and summon it, you can like target it with Borland Dragon, get rid of their one toad, and now they're in like a weird situation where like now they're just kind of summoning stuff, but they like don't have like a boss monster anymore. So you can do pretty cool stuff with him. Tier limits, sometimes they put like one-ofs of like certain fusions, like the boss ones. So keep an eye out for that, guys. We played 2 Absol Dragons. Absol Dragon has gotten a lot better with the new Byssted stuff, because you can summon it off of King of Tomb, and you can tribute it to summon back the level 8 Byssted from the grave, because he's a free summon if you control a rocket. At many points in the deck, you're going to be controlling a rocket. And if not that, then you can just send it to grave and add any rocket. He's just extremely good. He just gets better and better as time goes on. And next we have 1 Noctovision Dragon. He's like a great extender for link climbing and drawing a card, drawing into another extender. And if you happen to draw into like the branded trap that we play, like usually you would set it off of the or not set it, you would activate it from the Byssted. But if you do draw into it, then you can set it, you can protect it with this, or if you have something else set, Fang with Chain, whatever, then you can protect it with this if they target it. So there's always that. And he is another 5 or higher Dark Dragon for the Byssted. Next we play 2 level 8s. We play Chaos Dragon Levineer and Chaos Dragon Armageddon, Dragon of whatever. And this guy's like insane. Well, we'll go over Levineer first. Levineer, he's basically a free extender. You banish any 3 darks from the grave, take a card out of their hand, and like you have a lot of like, you have like 1 negate, you have many disruptions, and this just like taking a card out of their hand is like better than any disruption, because it's just one thing you don't have to deal with. Even if it's a card you didn't have an answer to, like a Dark Ruler No More or something. So like just getting rid of a card is just better than having to disrupt the play. There's like it's just one less thing to worry about, no matter what happens, because they might have a graveyard effect or something. You might have some other thing. So it's always great. Having another extender is nothing to be upset about. Now, Chaos Dragon of Armageddon is a phenomenal turn to, like, your next turn plays. So in the Pendulum Zone, you can pay 1,000 life points, add any banished dragon back to your hand. So you can add back your Darkness Metal, you can add back a Byssted, you can add back this Chaos Dragon, you can even add back like the Red Eyes you banished off of Malefic Red Eyes. Any dragon. Easy cost of like 1,000 life points. And then he destroys himself, because he's a pendulum in the Pendulum Zone. He goes to the top of the extra deck, and from the hand or extra deck, you can special summon him by banishing a light and a dark. We have a decent amount of lights and an insane amount of darks, so he can basically special summon himself easily. And even if you're like, oh, what if you don't have a light, you're guaranteed to have a light, because you almost always, if you don't end on a erratic, then you had a completely unplayable hand. So you're guaranteed to have a light, and it's a Red Eyes deck, these are darks. So he's always going to be able to summon himself. He has a on-board blow-up effect. You're not really going to use that, but he's 3,000. You can link him away or something. And then since he's a pendulum monster, you can go back to the extra deck. You can use him again another day. Next, we move on to our Chaos Dragons, our Light and our Dark. These guys are just absolutely insane all the time. They're always like free extenders. It's great to see them. It's even better to see Chaos Space. To loop one back, get another free resource, get a draw. This is like a crazy combo, those guys. And Chaos Space. Everything you have is like able to discard. Everything we have is lighter darks, except for our one wind, which is Tempest. But he's the boy. I couldn't leave him out. But yeah, these 2 in Chaos Space. You can search the other guys off of Chaos Space, the 2 previous Chaos guys, and our Byssted, which is cool too. We play 1 Tempest throughout our combo. So usually you would Drag Intervene and send the Apps Router, search for Rocket, but you don't always need to do that if you have the Byssted, because you can just summon the Apps Router from the deck. So you can send this off of the Drag Intervene. You have another extender to do, like, more link plays or whatever it is you want to do. You could even use him and Rocket Synchron, go into Borload Savage, whatever you want to do. You can do it with him, or you can save that for later, and you can use him and Malefic and make a Flare Metal, so on top of all these disruptions, they're taking burn, and things get scary. So yeah, and every turn he's banishing 2 dragons. 2 wins, doesn't really matter, but he's banishing 2 dragons, so you can actually set up for the for the what's it called, for the Chaos Emperor dragon. Whatever dragon you want to add back, you can banish it with this and then add it back once it's banished. And then you banish lighter darks, and then you obviously get to draw off of the branded continuous spell. Very, very good. Next, we have our 3. The Byssted Lubellion. This guy, absolutely insane. He's got 3 effects. 3. And they're all, like, really, really good. You can special summon him by attributing a 5 or higher Dark Dragon, which is, like, this deck is full of. Red Eyes, in case you don't know, is a 5 or higher Dark Dragon. You can send him, and you can do that from the hand or the grave. It's very relevant, because you're never going to do it from the hand. If you're doing it from the hand, you're doing something wrong. You can send him from hand to grave to add a Byssted monster, which is like, he's their Rhoda, he's their boss, he's insane. And when he's on the field, during the main phase, you can place face up a branded Speller Trap, which is like, I think it says Byssted Speller Trap too, but I don't think there's any Byssted Speller Trap. No, it's just branded, which is weird. But you can place a branded Speller Trap, and our branded Speller Trap lineup is pretty serious, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But this guy's absolutely insane. That's every turn, and it's not adding. Well, it adds the Byssted monster, but the spells and traps, it's not adding, so they can't ash that. So guarantee once it comes on the field, you're guaranteed to get some disruption going. Next, we play 3 Byssted Magnum Hut or Magnum Mutt. This guy's really, really good. He's our level 6 Byssted. Like I previously said, banish a lighter dark from either player's graveyard. Quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. And when he's special summoned, you can add a dragon during the end phase of the turn. Any dragon in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So King Atum is summoning any dragon from the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! However, its attack is going to be 0/0, and Atum cannot attack. It's a little rough. But this guy is adding it during the end phase, any dragon. So you can add Midodora, Saravis, who are like hand trap dragons, or you can add the Chaos Emperor, which is typically what I add, and maybe like a combo starter. If you didn't have the best of hands, maybe like Black Metal Dragon. If you didn't see that and do all that, you can add that. But because of the way the Byssted cards work, you can summon it during your opponent's turn, and during that end phase, you can add another dragon. So you're constantly getting resources from this guy and looping him. It's really, really cool. Really, really good stuff. Any dragon in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Remember that. Next, we are playing 1 Sorrow Nair and 1 Juice Worm. These guys aren't as insane as Magnamut, but they're still really good. So this guy, when he's sent to the same thing, they all have the same summoning condition. Quick effect, banish, lighter dark, whatever. This guy, when he's sent to graveyard, he can foolish a branded Speller Trap or a Byssted monster, which Lubellion works in the grave. So if you don't see Lubellion, but you see this guy, then you can send Lubellion or whatever, and then you can summon him from the grave, whatever. Get all that going. Juice Worm, when he's special summoned, you can target a monster your opponent controls and then send it to the graveyard. Really solid disruption card, because there's a couple of ways to summon it during your opponent's turn. The branded spell, continuous spell, summons a Byssted back from your graveyard when your opponent normal or special summons a monster. And Heraldic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres also summons a monster during your opponent's turn. Or it's a own effect where you can, quick effect, banish. Really, really good stuff. This deck is really, really good against tier elements. Absolutely insanely good. Even though our previous level 8 Synchro Chaos Sorcerer is gone, rest in peace, we are still playing our Effect Veilers, because Lights and Darks are still very important in this deck. It's, Red Eyes, Dragon Link, Chaos, Bysteals. There's a lot going on. But yeah, these guys are still very important. It's a good hand trap. In this case, it's better than Imperm. I still like Imperm more, and I have 3 ulti Imperms, but I only have 1 ulti in Vector. He's not here because I like to keep these uniforms. They're pretty solid, like rarity. I think Super is pretty nice for this Effect Veiler. But yeah, for the Light and Dark stuff, like I said, for the Chaos Emperor Dragon, for the Chaos Dragon Livianeer, if you want to pop cards or some ungodly way you've gotten 3 light monsters, all 3 of these or something in the grave, you can summon a monster. Like the lights are very important, and it would help. It's what helps go second too. Moving on to our spells, we are playing 3 quick launch. Quick launch is very very good extender. It's like bring special summon any rocket from the deck. It's free. It's easy. It's not once per turn. It's a great card to see. 3 Chaos Space. Chaos Space is an absolutely phenomenal card. It searches a lot of the really, really good cards in our deck. The Chaos Armageddon guy, the Lubellion, the Light and Dark Collapse Serpent, Wyver Busters, and our Chaos Dragon Levineer. Even our Malefic Red Eyes. Just a really good card. Recurs a banish, cannot be normal summoned or set monster. Simple, easy, and it sets up the grave for whatever you add, except for Lubellion, and I guess Chaos Dragon Levineer. It sets up for the Wyver Busters, the Wyver Buster and the Collapse Serpent. That's the main thing. You just got a Red Eyes or whatever, and you can start going. Next we have one for one. 1 for 1's just simple. It's just so we can see our Black Metal Dragon. The graveyard is like a second hand, so anything we send from hand to grave, it like doesn't even matter as long as we're sending like a monster of some kind. And then we play for field spells. We play 1 boot sector launch for our rocket plays, 1 Dragon's Ravine to find any dragon we possibly need in the deck. Not much to say. These are searchable, easy. No reason not to play these. They're extremely mandatory at this point in time. And then we play 1 Branded Regained and 1 Branded Beast. Branded Beast, you can get rid of Byssted you control, and then pop a card your opponent controls. And then during the end phase, you can place face up a branded spell, continuous spell. So the Byssted that foolishes, you can send this, and then you can activate this with our Lubellion, and then Lubellion puts this face up, and then during the end phase you can put this face up. And what this does is when a light or dark monster is banished, draw a card. And when your opponent normal or special summons a monster, summon a Byssted from the graveyard. Very solid, very simple, very effective, insane. Like you have a board of monsters, and then on top of that you have some back row disruptions. This is what I've like always strived to do with my like Red Eyes Dragon Link deck. You know, you have like your Warlord Savage, your Heretic, and then your Fangwood Chain or 2 set. And then now you've got these. You've got a pop every turn, and you've got a draw 1 every turn. Couldn't ask for more. And then lastly, we play 1 Red Eyes Fangwood Chain. The reason why we cut it down from our typical 2 to 1 is because we're not ending on as many Red Eyes as we usually do. And sometimes tributing the Heretic, summoning a Red Eyes, and Fangwood Chaining is decent. But sometimes going into the Byssted Druid Worm is like, it's a little bit better, and it kind of sets up for like the Byssted spells and traps. But depending on your matchup, sometimes this is just way better. This outs a lot of things that like can't be like targeted by like monsters like a Warlord Savage if they're like running that, or like some crazy like random like link that might cause problems. Like you just take it, or like something that summons like its zone, you can pop it with the branded trap, or you can take it with this. It just creates like another like disruption, especially in the form of back row. So we have like, you know, our dual. What we obviously we're having a duel. Well, obviously we have like our dual disruptions. You know, monsters back row. It's the best possible board you can make. Moving on to our extra deck, 1 Warlord Savage. Funnily enough, this is the only synchro we play in a rocket deck. The links are just way more important. This guy's just easy to summon, and Omni Negates, not much to say. For XYZs, we are playing 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon and 1 Heretic Dragon King of Atum. Flare Metal is for our burn, maybe some of our Mystic Mind matchups. It really help us out. Heretic Dragon King of Atum is absolutely insane with the Heretics. I mean, with the Byssted. Summon any dragon from the deck. We only play 1 copy, but we have ways of like, you know, the Chaos Emperor Dragon, the Chaos Spaces, whatever. Like you can you can recur it if you want, but probably not. But you could if you want, but the one time is enough. For our Link 4s, we are playing only one. We are playing Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. Appaloosa is like an option. It's not really like something we go into insanely often, but like, you know, sometimes you just have the right board with IP, and then, you know, sometimes you have the Borderland Dragon already, or maybe you don't want to summon that against certain matchups, because this is like way better against like tier limits. Like, you know, they can send all these monsters, do all these effects, but they only have so many tier limit names. They're used once per turn. You just negate. The like on top of like the Byssted, like this is like really gonna like set in stone. Like they're done for. Why we went to a Link 4 to a Link 5, I don't know. I like to go in descending order, but Borderland Dragon. Borderland Dragon's like one of our main mans on the field. So we're gonna have like Heradic, the Byssted, Spell and Trap lineup. Maybe like Fang with Chain, maybe like Flare Metal, depending on our hand, and maybe like an IP. Who knows? But this guy's a menace. He's got a lot of attack, can't destroy battle card effects. Every turn he's negating monsters your opponent controls, monsters you control even, and then summoning a rocket from the deck for more random like synchro or whatever plays. You could technically play what's his name, Baron de Fleur, because you can summon back a Tracer from the graveyard, and then summon any Byssted and make a Baron de Fleur. But I find that it wasn't coming up that often. Like it sounds like simple enough, but there's like that's really good. But there's like other plays you can do, other links you can go into, like that just benefited the situation more. So I actually cut him, the Baron de Fleur. But you could play it if you want. We play one Nightmare Unicorn because we are playing IP Masquerena, which I might as well show because most of the time you're going into the Unicorn or the IP, depending on what they're playing. Not too much to say about that. You have a lot of like cards that just do stuff in the grave, so discarding one off of Unicorn doesn't matter too much, and you're drawing from the Byssted continuous spell, so you have resources to use. You're searching for dragons at the end phase of like every turn with Magnamut, so you got stuff to do. You can do with. It's pretty simple. Next we have several Link 2s. I'm just gonna go into show these guys all at the same time. We have one Romulus, one Heradic, and one Destruction Swords. Destruction Swords is just so if we need a light engrave, we have a generic easy to go into light. That's also a dragon, so we can go into the what's his name, the Heradic. So like if you sometimes you have weird hands. Sometimes we play like a Link Rebo and like Effect Veiler. So like sometimes it does happen, but it's a slow start, but it gets things moving again. That's why we play him. Heradic is just a very, very good piece of disruption. He's non-target, bounce, outs a lot of things, summons any dragon from the deck. Like any summoning, searching any dragon from the deck is absolutely insane. So no complaints about that. And it's mandatory too. Romulus searches for a Dragon Divine. These are all very generic. Two dragons / wing beast, 2 dragons, 2 monsters. It's easy to go from one into the other, like fooling around with your hand. Really, really cool, guys. And we play 2 other Link 2s, but these guys I wanted to talk about together. The Lingerous Dragon and Quad Boral Dragon. These guys, once you have a bunch of rockets engraved, which is now a lot easier to do since there's there's access to the King Dragon Tomb and whatnot. You can basically loop these guys into kind of like trick them into summoning the Borderland Dragon. You make the Lingerous and with like 2 rockets or whatever, Pisty, summon back a rocket, and then you summon this guy and then you pop him with Quad Boral, and then you summon back 2 rockets and the Lingerous, and you've got like 80 monsters on field. These 2 and then like Lubellion or something or whatever random extender. You can make Borderland Dragon, and then the 2 rockets you summon off of this Silver Rocket Tracer, and then you summon the Borderlord Savage Dragon. Very simple, and then he gets banished too. So if you started with the branded continuous spell, he gets a draw card. Cool stuff. And now we have link ones. Our Striker Dragon to search our boot sector launch. His on-field effect I don't ever use. It never comes up. At least for me, like it's just I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't happen. We play one Pisty, Pisty for our now one Guard Dragon play. He's doing his best. He's hanging on. His family's gone, but we still love him. We take care of him, and we try to include him as much as we can because he's here for us. We got to be here for him. Maybe one day we get Pisty. Maybe one day we get Armageddon. Definitely not. But we play one Link Rebo because our Effect Veiler is level 1, and we can normal summon it, link it away, summon this guy, summon any Bysteel from that, and then hopefully you can go into the Wyvern, the Destruction Swords guy, and then go on this guy, and then go into your place from there. Hopefully you have other stuff to keep going. But that's it for the deck profile. I'm still pretty new to this. If you guys have any recommendations, anything I should try out, let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed, thank you.